everybody, this is Jonathan Coe. I'm talking to you from my home in central London. This is my study, the place where I write most of my books, and please forgive me if this video is a little bit clumsy and hesitant, because I'm not used to talking to people in this way, but I guess that in the current circumstances we're going to have to get used to communicating with each other more and more remotely. I've been asked by Feltrinelli to recommend a book, and also to talk a little bit about self-isolation. Of course, for me, self-isolation is not such a strange thing. It's more or less how I live my life, and in many ways when I'm working on a book I would choose to be as isolated and as solitary as I'm going to be over the next few weeks. And in a way this is how I started writing. Back in the 1970s I lived in a very quiet suburban part of Birmingham, and during the school holidays I really didn't see that many people, and of course there was no internet, there were no DVDs, there were only a few TV channels, there was no social media. So I was very isolated indeed, and that was when I started, I think, living inside my head and using my imagination and beginning to write books. And this is why I've chosen this book, I Serve the King of England, by Bohumil Hrabal. I don't know if you can see that. It's one of my favourite novels. Hrabal was a great Czech writer. He lived in Prague, and this is the story of a waiter from Prague, and it tells the story of his whole life. This is one of the things I like about it so much. It has that sense of the long shot, the zoom out, the long perspective. You meet him as a young man and you follow him right up until his very old age. Not only that, you get the whole history of 20th century Europe, because of course he gets caught up in all this. And we move from his very carefree early days as a waiter in a glamorous hotel in Prague just before the war, right up until his old age. So the early chapters are full of fun and laughter, action, sex, love. They're full of energy and the energy of youth. But it's really the final chapters of this book which have always stayed with me. They're so beautiful, so peaceful. He ends his life in a very unexpected place with very unexpected companions, actually, and is totally self-isolated as well. And I think the final chapters of this book, which are full of wisdom and resignation about the fleetingness of our existence, but also the beauty of our existence, are very, very helpful and very consoling at this particular time. So this would be my recommendation. I Serve the King of England by Bohumil Hrabal. Thank you.